Welcome to another edition of As a Crow Flies Hiking. On this episode, I'm going to talk about a trip that I'm about to take to the Uintas in Utah. I'm going to be heading out and flying this next week to the Uintas and flying into Salt Lake City, Utah to hang out and hike with Pax-a-Lot, Steve, and J. Ben Hikes is going to be out there. Jeff. We're all going to be hiking on the Uintas Trail, or the Highline Trail as it's commonly known. But the first day, to get acclimated to the altitude, we're going to hike Mount Temp. Now, I think that's around 13,000 feet. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. We're going to be heading up Mount Temps, and then we're going to head down. And then the next day, we drive across the state to the Uintas, or the Highline Trail, and hike almost all of the trail. I think we're going to skip the first 15 to 18 miles because it's in the forest. We want to do the actual Highlands part. I want to talk about my gear loadout and some specific things about this trip and what makes it unique and what I'm going to have to do as I'm flying out there with my pack and different things. So let's talk about the big three first. My big three really doesn't change that much. This is my Hyperlight mountain gear pack. It's I think a 60 liter. And it's the one that has the mesh on the back and fabrics on the side. So I absolutely love this thing. Is it the Southwest? I can't remember which one of the three. But it's has this roll down. And so this gives me a lot of options because it is a roll down. I can put more things in it. And because we're going to be hiking 10 days out in the Uintas, I'm going to have a lot of food in here. So it's good that I have that extra option on top to really pack it out. Along with my other big three, things that really don't change. I've got my Enlighten Equipment 20-degree bag. This thing has just been a workhorse for me over the years. It really kind of bounces back all the time. And I've got my Hilltop Packs Dyneema bag for it to keep it dry as it's in my pack. I've also got another Hilltop pack bag. This is actually my old food bag, and I've upgraded it with my logo on it. So I use my old food bag. I basically repurpose it with my tent in it. This is the Z-Packs Duplex. This bag fits it just about perfect and it rolls down. It fits it better than the bag that Z-Packs gave me, so I'm using it to put my duplex in. That's my big three. Now let's talk about some of the things that are specific to this trip. I've actually had to do some training on this trip. Because I'm going to be heading up these mountains at above 10,000 feet, when you think about Alabama and the southeast, other than the Smokies, you don't do a whole bunch of high mountain climbing. We're going to be heading up to 10,000 and almost 14,000 feet, I think, in the Uintas and Mount Temp. So I've had to do a little training. I actually bought one of these cheap masks off of Amazon that has these different levels you put on. It's supposed to restrict some of the oxygen that you have. And so it's just a cheaper version. I just wanted to go as cheap as I could because I wasn't sure how I would use it afterwards. But I've been trying to run with this thing. You talk about some looks you get from people that pass by as you're running. They think you're some sort of Bane from Batman with this thing on. But it does help a little bit to, I think, or at least I hope so, to get used to this altitude deprivation of oxygen that I'm going to have. Along with that, I've got to be thinking about altitude sickness, and I'm a little nervous about that. So I had my doctor prescribed me some of this medicine. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I think it's called dioxin or something. Dioxin. I'm not sure, but it's altitude sickness medicine. I take it the day before I go up, and then I take it for 5 days or 4 more days to help me with altitude sickness. So I'm hoping that will help, and I won't have issues with that. Another thing that we're going to get to do, Steve has told us that we're going to get to fish while we're out on the Uintas. There's lakes everywhere. There's like 50 different lakes we'll pass. So he told us to bring some aluminum foil. I've got some different sheets of aluminum foil for the fish. Hopefully I'll catch some. And then I've got some lemon pepper seasoning that I'm going to put on the fish and just let it cook in its own juices. You talking about excited. I don't get to do a lot of fishing, but Pax is letting us borrow some rods and some lures. So I'm super excited, and I'm actually not taking 2 different meals and hoping that I will supplement those meals with fish. If I don't catch any fish, then I guess I just won't eat those couple of nights. I've also got my clothing bag with a different change of clothes and my puffy, and because I think the temperatures will get down to 40s at night, and then they get up to the 80s during the day. So I've got a sun hoodie that I wear and just make sure that I don't get too much sun. And then at night, we'll get cool, got different things for that. Now, those are the things, some of the things I will take. Some of the things that I cannot take, again, are canister fuels. I won't be able to put those in my suitcase, and a lighter. I actually just went through my suitcase and pulled these two things out. I forgot that they were in there, but they are not allowed in my bag, so I'm going to make sure that they're out. Won't be taking those. Talking about what I will be taking, I have different bags of food for each day. So this is day 6 that I put on the bag. I've got 10 days or, well, 8 days or so of food. And so these are during the day, and then I have a freeze-dried meal at night, and then a couple of nights, hopefully, we'll fish. But this has got like Tailwind in it. That will keep me electrolytes full during the day. I've got a bar for the morning, just different snacks during the day. And then I will also have like peanut butter. This is one of those little spread peanut butter things. Those are really great for backpacking. And then just some water supplements during the day for lunch. So that's what I'll be doing for my meals, and then at night, either a freeze-dried meal or hopefully catching some fish on a couple of those nights. Another thing specific to this particular trip is Picaridin insect repellent. This is the lotion. Steve from Packs a Lot says this is what you need to use. He said the mosquitoes and bugs are absolutely relentless out there, especially above tree line and then below tree line, I think in the morning. And basically at night, you know, when the sun starts to go down, this lotion is the only thing he knows that really will stop it. But I didn't stop there. I also got the head net, just in case that lotion doesn't work. This is only an ounce for this little Sea to Summit head net. And I got that to put over my hat. And if they're just relentless, I will have this as well. I'm also bringing a little sun protection here that I'm bringing. It is just a super ultra suntan lotion, but it is the rub-on. So, you know, this roll-on kind of thing is perfect for this. This is the Banana Boat brand, but I mean, you can use whatever, but this will be good for my face and my hands. Just want to make sure that I don't get sun poisoning, because I've had that before, and that's absolutely a no-no in backpacking. It can make a trip really miserable through the days. On this trip, I finally decided to go ahead and switch out my Sawyer Squeeze. Now, people are very personal about what type of water filter they use. I'm just going to tell you that I actually recommend the Sawyer Squeeze, not the mini and not the micro. I love the just regular Squeeze. I've had the other one that I had for a long time, and I am not good about backwashing it and things. And so I'm finally just going, the flow rate has gone down in it. And so I'm finally just going to replace it and start fresh. Just make sure that you have an extra O-ring. I think that they gave me one on this one. The first one I didn't have that, but you've got to have that O-ring in there. So this comes out, you got an extra one. Of course, you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I've always got a knee brace on. This time I'm bringing the Kneevo. I was sick a while back, lost some weight, couldn't wear it anymore. It was a little big, but now I've gained most of my weight back. So I'm using this Kneevo thing. It's got great braces on the side and wings and things, and it's got a brace down the side parts, and that keeps my meniscus issues at bay. And then another thing specific to this trip are the Altra Timps. I've got the Temp 3s. Now, if you watched any of my videos, you will usually see me with Ultra Olympus. During the 4th of July sale, the Altra Timps went on sale for $68 on REI. So I decided to just get them. That could be a mistake, because I'm used to the Olympus. If you know anything about Ultras, the Lone Peaks are the bottom of stack, and then the Temps are a little bit higher stack here, and then the Olympus are the highest stack. These are the ones that most people use for hiking, either the Olympus, the Temps, or the Lone Peaks. So I don't know how I'm going to do with these, but it was basically $120 difference. The new Olympus came out, the 5s, and I thought about buying those, but then when I saw this sale for $68, I just said, I'm just going to do it, and hopefully it will work out. I think they're fine. I mean, the wide toe box is there. It has a good bit of stack. I think it'll be fine. I guess we'll see how it goes. Of course, lastly, I've got to think about what I'm filming. I'm filming on a GoPro 9. So what I've done is taken this little waterproof case. I've taken about 9 different SD cards and put them in here. Behind them, I have a little bag, a small bag, like a jeweler bag, to put the SD cards in. They're labeled 1 through 9, so as I get through with them, I'll know which one they are in order. So when I get back home, hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll be able to sort out the filming and upload and start editing videos for this trip. Along with the filming, I got to be thinking about charging things. So I've got 3 battery banks. I may just take 2. This is a 20,000 amp and then 2 10,000 amps. I've also got to charge my light that I have, the Lume Cube that I use to film at night. This thing has been absolutely awesome to use, and I appreciate Metro on the Move for recommending this to me. So I got those to charge. I've also got my Nightcore headlamp that I'll be charging during the trip. This thing has been a workhorse for me. I'm super glad that I have one now. It's rechargeable. And then, of course, I've got my Hilltop Packs little battery bag. This side, you put the batteries that are dead, and this side, you put the batteries that are charged, green and red. And I've got, I think, 7 GoPro batteries that I can recharge. Lastly, I am taking as my carry-on bag the Waymark Mile. I tell you what, this Waymark Mile has been absolutely spectacular to use. I've used it as a carry-on bag for South Dakota, and now I'm using it for Utah, but great to carry all my stuff in. And then for Mount Temp on the first day, I'll use it because that'll be a day hike. You know, it's like 15 miles, 7 up and 7 back, or 7.5. I'll use that for my day hike. So this will be absolutely perfect to carry all the stuff in. I have to go through security. And then lastly, of course, I got my Hilltop Packs fanny pack. Had this for 2 years, 3 years now. I don't know exactly. And it has worked to perfection for me. I keep all my electronics in as I'm hiking, and I'm able to access them perfectly during the day. So I've got my itinerary and I'm ready to go to Utah. I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Steve from Packs a Lot, for inviting me and J-Ben Hikes out to do this trip. The Uintas have always been on my short list because I saw the Highline video documentary by Z-Packs, and I just fell in love with that trail and the thought of hiking it. So it's kind of one of those bucket list trips that I wanted to do. So I'm super excited. I thank you guys for watching this gear load out, and hopefully on the next video you will see part 1 of the Uintas Highland Trail in Utah. All right, guys, I will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of As the Crow Flies Hiking.